What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, here to bring you guys some stocks to watch for this upcoming trading week. Now, two things I want to highlight before we start. First of all, this is a 4-day trading week, obviously, as trading begins tomorrow, Tuesday. But secondly, please take a look at different sectors this week. Take a look at energy, take a look at the financial sector, take a look at technology, take a look at marijuana. I don't know, just take a look at different sectors. Of course, there's going to be different things happening in the market, and I'm not saying you have to trade specific sectors, but just have a look at what they do, how they react, how the stocks in those sectors react together. That's one thing you want to do this week. Now, let's jump into trading view, look at a few different stocks to trade this week. So to start off with, I'm going to go with Netflix, because this is definitely one to watch this week. Now, you guys may have seen, I think it was November when Netflix hit highs. We'll have a look at the chart now. So let's look at the past 6 months. Okay, so November, it hit highs of around $698, almost $700. And since then, what's happened? It's just sold off like crazy. So right now it's way oversold. And it's at a price point where it's getting a little bit intriguing. Now, of course, you see this green candle right here. Let me just zoom in for you guys. Friday, it did spike up a little bit. But my point here is it's way oversold overall. I mean, from almost $700 till now in the low 500s, yeah, sold off majorly. But why am I talking about this one? Well, they have earnings this Thursday, and it's definitely one to pay attention to, like I mentioned. So what am I looking at here? Well, to be honest, I'm looking at a break below $500 for puts as well as a buying opportunity. But at the same time, I'm also looking for it to start reaching levels of 545, 575, and obviously eventually 600. So those are the levels to look at if it does have a good earnings. And you know what? I am not going to do it, but you may want to gamble in the run up to earnings and look at the call options. I do think they'll have a good earnings again. As you guys have seen during the pandemic, they pretty much thrived, different releases of different shows and stuff. And of course, people have all been watching Netflix during that time. Added to that, I would say it's a good stock to look at because obviously they just raised their prices, which is the reason for this massive green candle here, which means more revenue for them. And people are not leaving Netflix. There might be some people, trying to hop onto other people's subscriptions. But at this point in time, not many people are going to be leaving Netflix just purely because of a price increase. It's just not how it works. So on the 4 hour, it's below all the moving averages still, but it's starting to move up towards this 10-day moving average. So definitely keep your eyes out for that one. Next up, we're going to go with one that we traded last week on Friday, JP Morgan. So obviously this is in the financial sector. And like I said, we traded it on Friday after it just reported earnings. See the gap down here, and it kept selling off. Now, there's a support around 152. Let's see. Right around here. So let's just draw the support. So there's a nice level of support right around here. 150, 185, maybe even 152. And I would say from where it is at now, 157 until 151, 152, you could look at the puts. I mean, recently it's been making higher highs and higher lows, but after earnings, it just dropped. So I'm guessing it's going to consolidate for a little bit before it does any more movement. But like I said, I'm looking at the downside potential right now, short term. But longer term, 170 calls. Yeah, 170 calls, maybe even 172 calls. If we zoom out a little bit. Yeah, 170 calls, 172 calls for March, I'd say. So that's my price target for that one. And in the meantime, like I said, I'll look for puts down to this level of support around 152, 153. Next up, we've got a firm, ticker symbol AFRM. Everyone knows about this one. One of the most overhyped stocks in the past 6 months. It had its great run from around $69 all the way up to $176. But since then, after that crazy rally, it's just sold off. It's been ridiculous. Of course, the rally beforehand. Yes, the rally beforehand was really nice. Everyone was onto a firm. Look at that. Huge rally. But since then, it's been complete opposite. It's been destroyed. And there's really no stopping for this one. So are we looking at the puts now? What levels would I be looking at? Let's take a look. It's not easy with this one because it still has a way to go, I think. Last time I was at this level, it did consolidate a little bit. Let's look at the daily chart. Please also remember the full watch list will be in the Discord pre-market tomorrow. This is just a watch list for the YouTubers so they can kind of see what's happening. Maybe some stuff that we look at in the Discord. But let's see. On the daily chart, look for a drop down to levels of around $55.26 from here. A firm down to $55.26 from here. And then we can see what happens. I expect some consolidation around those points. And who knows, it could start uptrending again if we get enough buying pressure. But I would not be surprised to see it drop lower to levels of $46, $47. All right, next up on the list, we are going to go with PayPal. This is another oversold stock right now. Another one of those oversold stocks which I think has great long-term potential. Just again, 7 months ago, back in July, it was $308, $309. Now it's around $178 and trying to find its way back up. So let's have a look on a closer time frame. Zoom in a little bit. So it's trending below the moving averages, all moving averages, but it's starting to fight to get above this moving average. I think once it does get above that level, we can start seeing some nice price action and start seeing an uptrend. In the meantime, let's look at the 4-hour chart, just see what's been happening more recently. Same sort of scenario. It's been in this channel between, I'd say, $179 and $197, just in that channel. And we're waiting for an actual breakout. So with PayPal, what I'd look for right now, I will be looking at calls this week, but only if we can hold this level and start uptrending. Otherwise, it looks like the puts could still be on with it. I mean, it's just been bleeding off and continuously bleeding off. This might be one you have to try and day trade. That might be your best bet with this one. But if you want to swing trade it or you want to go longer, I would not be against buying, $190 or $195 call options for February. But in the meantime, like I said, it's still downtrending. Of course, Friday it started to uptrend from around $175, slightly upwards. But it could get rejected at this level here, this moving average, and start downtrending again. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. Next up, we're going to go with Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO, a stock which is also a nice dividend stock. So for those of you who are long-term investors, as you all should be, please also check this one out. So it's been trading nicely above the moving averages on the 50-minute chart. Let's zoom out, check the 4-hour chart. Also been moving above all the moving averages. It's looking like it's been on a bit of a hot run. It might be time to pull back a couple dollars to the moving average. I don't think this is a bad long-term play at all in terms of growth and, of course, the dividend itself, like I mentioned. But what I'd look for with this one is a simple pullback to the moving average around $60.52 on the 4-hour chart, and then look for your $62, maybe even $65 calls for a couple weeks out, a few weeks out. But I think this is a very nice bullish stock to play at this moment in time. Now, another stock which has been pretty bullish recently is Boeing, ticker symbol BA. So let's take a look at Boeing. Currently $225.96, currently above all the moving averages, just like Coca-Cola. Pretty bullish on the 4-hour chart. Check the daily chart. Still bullish. But of course, it is in the airline sector. So, travel sector, airline sector, all that. They have been canceling a lot of flights recently. I'm not sure if it was Boeing specifically, but I've definitely seen American Airlines and Delta canceling flights. I don't think it's badly affected the stock though. As you can see down here, the 52-week range is between $185 and $278. So there's still a lot of upside and also downside potential. I'd look for a pullback to around $217, like I said, and then start uptrending again if it can. That's kind of what it's done a lot of the time. So definitely keep this one on your radar this week. But it could also be one to just watch out for based on news again, like I said. Let's check the 4-hour chart. A lot of these stocks have similar patterns if you look in the specific sector. So do look out for that. And on the 4 hours, again, $217 is the level to look out for. The pullback is what I'm looking for. If it does keep running up, I think the pullback will eventually come. So don't try and chase this one. it might hit highs of 234, and then you break that level of resistance or can keep trending upwards right here. So it could potentially just hang above the moving average without pulling back very far and then keep uptrending, like I said. Next up, we're going to go with Facebook, ticker symbol FB, or also known as Meta now. This is a stock I do like trading, and when it does get going, it definitely starts to move very nicely. But what are we looking at for Facebook? So this chart is a bit more complicated than some of the other ones I've reviewed, because Facebook seems to be consolidating a lot these days and then just ripping upwards or kind of selling off. So if you see, this is what I mean. So I've got my levels of support and resistance here, but just check at this, in the moving averages, what's happening. If we zoom in, it's a little bit more complicated. So obviously it's trending very close to all the moving averages, but just the candles have been a bit, I'd say, messy in this case. Look on the 4-hour chart to get a clearer view. Shorter time frame. So this is pretty obvious. It tends to drop, test the support level, rise up again, test the moving averages, drop, hold, see if it holds support, again, rise up and test the moving averages. So here it's around 331, and it's just, let's see, it's just above one moving average, still below the other three. I'd expect, again, a test of all three moving averages and then selling off towards $323. But if you play it right, get in around the level of support around 323. That's when I would look for call options, 330 call options. I'd say a week or two out, and there you should be golden. Of course, if it doesn't work out, cut your losses on time. Don't dwell on it, and then just move on to the next stock. Let's go with a couple more stocks. First of all, let's see. We can try DraftKings, ticker symbol DKNG, because I know this one has been very bearish recently, just selling off and selling off and selling off again. So as you can see, it's holding below all the moving averages on the 4-hour chart. The daily chart is exactly the same. DraftKings is another one of those growth stocks with long-term potential, but right now, in the meantime, you probably just want to look at puts. Look at this, hit highs of $63 in September. And again, it's just that last 5 months have been so bearish for some of these stocks. September, everyone was talking about, red stocks. September wasn't horrible for DraftKings first half, and then obviously it sold off afterwards. But like I said, it's been selling off since, so you could definitely look at puts for it. To what level? Let's have a look, because this could get really interesting. I would say this level of previous resistance around, let's see, what is that? Almost 1950. So it's still got ways to fall. It fell $4 on Friday, as you guys can see. Check Friday's chart. Sorry, not $4. It fell $1, but 4% on Friday. And it was a pretty bad fall for DraftKings. Now, let me just change this. It was a pretty tough day. It sold off, and yeah, it's not been looking good for them. Look at that. This is Friday. Sold off from here, up around 24.60, all the way down to, there you go, and I can get a better view, all the way down to here. At one point, it was down to $22.38. We managed to rally back towards the moving average before selling off again. We are in Salesforce call options, but I want to look at PTON because they're getting delisted from the NASDAQ, so more bad news for them. And a stock which was once $120, if I'm not mistaken, even more than that, has just been selling off since. And it could still look good for puts, even though it's just broken above the moving average. Let's see. So this stock was $126 last year, $157 earlier last year. Yeah, it's just been horrible for this stock since then. Just look at PTON puts. Your levels, at this point, we don't know where it's going to go, because if we look overall, maybe look towards level of $17. But yeah, either way, as you can see, this is a nasty drop off. Beginning last year, $170 to now, where it's hanging in the 30s and in the low 30s at that. So yeah, definitely look at puts. I don't know what everyone wants to look at with the puts. But like I said, once it breaks below the moving averages again, the puts are definitely on. So that is mainly it for today's video. Like I said, we're in Salesforce calls. I'm not going to break that one down. You guys have to come to the Discord for that. Speaking of the Discord, you guys know the drill. The link is in the description below. If you want to join the premium side, you can do that. If you want to be in the free section, you can do that too. But that's mainly it for this video. That's mainly it for the breakdowns and the watch list. As always, check out the stock option starter pack. You guys know the deal. You get those videos for life, so keep those with you. Also, make sure you guys check out all the different links in the description below. We've got links to cryptocurrency, Robinhood, whatever you want, it's all there. Lastly, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share for future references. Thanks a lot for today's video. Have a great week. It's a 4-day trading week. Let's make some money once again. I've got money to making, you got money to making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.